I'm Hugo Milner. Currently a triathlete and runner based in Derby, and yeah, today I'm doing a video on my training. Just going to be doing a fairly light hill session this morning, and then we'll head out on the bike for an easy ride afterwards, and then yeah, that's pretty much it for the filming, and I'll do a swim later on this evening. But fairly easy training day today.
Tell us about your running history then, Hugo. Where did it start? What sort of things have you done?
So, I mean, I've always been a runner from a young age. I started running when I was maybe 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old. And then I just naturally had a talent for running, and grew up doing cross country and track running. And then I basically started triathlon 2 years ago, after I went to university in America, and then came back because of COVID and the lockdown, and decided that I needed a new challenge. And I'd always done a bit of swimming and biking before, so I thought I'd give triathlon a go. And then now it's been, yeah, just over 2 years.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's been going fairly well so far, so I'm just keen to see what I can do.
So how is it that you became like a cross-country specialist in the running world?
Yeah, it's weird because I think cross-country is just something I've naturally done for such a long time now, that I just kind of do well on the mud and on the hills and on the cross-country. And I think long distance as well kind of suits me. So trying to use, you know, my strengths as a cross-country runner and translate that into triathlon is something that I'm trying to do quite a lot, and just something I enjoy. So it doesn't feel like a job, it just feels like a passion, really.
Yeah. So you've had a couple of big cross-country results recently, Hugo. Just talk us through that. Liverpool Cross and then Eurocross, right?
Yeah, had a good race at Liverpool with the win at the trials, which was nice because I've raced at that course, Liverpool, for ages now, since I was under 13, and
wow.
I've had some good races there, but the past few years I've had some bad races, and so to come away with the win was nice. And then obviously booked my slot for Europeans, obviously running for GB at the European Cross in Brussels 2 weeks later. Wasn't really sure what to expect because I'd done Europeans the year before and I finished 32nd, and this year I knew my training was better, and I felt better in my kind of confidence in my running. And yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I finished 4th in the end, which was a good and bad result, because it was good because it was a big improvement from what I'd normally done. To go from 32nd to 4th in a year is quite a big jump, so it's quite nice to test myself against some of the best runners in Europe, but then equally to be so close to a medal. And I think when I watched it back and realised that, you know, I was in the lead for most of it.
You did, you led for a long time.
Yeah, it was frustrating to kind of give it away in the last 200 metres or so. So I think, yeah, it was good and bad, but definitely a big improvement. So
you were saying, if I recall from your post-race interview,
yeah,
it's almost like that race is a bit too short for you now.
Yeah, I mean, compared to an Olympic triathlon, it's only 30 minutes of running, and so now I'm starting to train and get used to doing, 20-minute swim, an hour bike, and then doing a hard 10k effort off that. So to go and just go straight into a 30-minute run race, I almost feel like at the end I can carry on going, but I'm just struggling with that speed at the minute. So I think I have to be careful, because I'm obviously trying to focus on being the best triathlete I can, and so I don't want to be focusing too much on trying to be the best cross-country runner and focus too much on the running. I know I need to improve my swimming and biking, so plenty to work on. So just gonna be a light hill session today, just getting back into it after Christmas. I've already done a few sessions this week. Big day yesterday on the swim and the bike, so a little bit tired from that. So today, this is a classic session that I do almost every week, and I've done it from a young age. It's called Vicarwood. I don't actually know if the hill is called Vicarwood, but everyone calls it Vicarwood. So there's kind of 3 hills that I can do. There's a short one which is right up to the hedge where Chris is going now, and that's about 400 meters. 400 meters up, and it's a pretty tough gradient to get up there. And then there's the medium hill, which is what most people normally do, which is about 600 or 700 meters, and that's past the hedge and over the top. And then there's a large hill, which is 3/4 of a mile all the way right to the very top. I'm planning on doing probably a large hill, a medium hill, and then a small hill.
Okay.
And then normally I finish it off with some strides just slightly downhill along here, so maybe like 4 times 200 meters. And then I think that will probably be it for today. Normally I'd probably do 2 or 3 sets of that, but just getting back into it, so don't want to push too hard. We'll do the first set and see how I feel, and then maybe some fast strides, and then that'll be the session.
Sounds good. Let's get cracking. Session then, Hugo?
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, they were the fastest splits I've ever done on this route, so you've obviously brought something out of me, bringing the cameras along. It was a fairly short session today. Like I say, with the hills, I'd normally do 2 or 3 sets of those, but today it was just 1 set. And then I normally finish off with some faster strides or sprints. And I think the times are a bit misleading, because it is slightly downhill, and I mean, conditions today are perfect, so that's probably why I'm going faster as well.
Take the records. Good stuff. So we're now going to head out on a bike, aren't we? Get a bit of a bike workout done as well. Yeah,
that's right. Just a fairly easy ride today. Probably 2 to 2.5 hours, and then and then I'll swim this evening. Just be an easy swim, but it's been a fairly tough week of training, so just having a fairly easy Saturday this weekend. Normally I'd do this run session and go straight into a bike session, but I managed to get my bike session done yesterday.
So you go. Thank you for that. Going easy on me. I appreciate it. Also, what are you running in?
These are the On carbon shoes, the Echo Boom.
They look box fresh, clean.
Well, to be honest, I've run in them a few times now, but I try and avoid running in carbon shoes in training. I normally just stick to bog standard trainers just to try and get some more training benefit. I don't want to feel fast all the time in training, so it's very rare that I actually bring out the carbon shoes, but occasionally, especially on the hill workouts, I find the extra support and bounce is really beneficial, because when you're pounding the road, especially on gradients like these, you need all the support you can get. So yeah, I brought them out today.
Good stuff. Right, we'll get running back before you get cold.
Yeah, oh, I'm warm now.
Okay then, Hugo, time for a bike ride. Nothing really too tough on the agenda today. You've just got an easy ride, haven't you? Thank goodness.
Yeah, just an easy ride now after the hill session this morning.
Yeah.
Don't want to go too hard because I've already done 2 bike sessions this week, and yeah, I just want to keep it controlled, but
yeah,
sometimes it's a bit difficult because where we're going right now is super hilly, so you find yourself probably going a bit too hard on the uphills and then
yeah,
not really hard enough on the downhill. So
well, I'm not going to give you too much sympathy if that's okay.
okay.
So what does a normal week of training look like for you on the bike at the minute, and how do you think this helps, if at all, your running?
So normally bike 5 to 6 times a week. There'll be a couple of hard sessions. Right now normally they've just been doing those sessions on Zwift on the turbo.
Yeah.
But now the weather's cleared up a bit, it's a bit drier. Been doing a few sessions outside, a few hill sessions, a few sprint sessions, and then I normally have 1 ride a week where it's kind of like a mountain bike or a skill session. So I'll just go to like a local car park or find a loop and do some dead turns and just skills that I need to work on. And then yeah, the easy rides are yeah, just easy rides with a few sprints, and that's pretty much it for the bike week.
What sort of volume are we talking in a normal week for you?
Probably about somewhere in the region of 8 to 13 hours. It varies each week, but in terms of distance, again, it varies because sometimes I do flat routes and sometimes I do hilly routes. So yeah, probably looking on average about 200 miles a week.
Which I don't think that's crazy. I know long distance athletes will probably do a lot more bike volume. Is that because of the nature of your racing? Just heavily swim and bike dependent?
Yeah.
Sorry, swim and run dependent.
Yeah. You also have to remember that I'm swimming quite a lot, I'm running quite a lot.
Yeah.
So combined all together, on an average week, it's probably 30, 35 hours.
Wow, okay.
So I can't go crazy on the bike.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the most I've ever done on the bike is maybe a 16-hour week. Okay. But at some point it just the volume just gets you really tired, and then you miss that quality and the intensity.
Yeah.
So I think right now just doing 8 to 12 hours a week it's pretty solid. You can get 2 workouts in. Some of my easy rides are not that easy, but yeah, it's just getting consistency, and that's the main area.
So how much run volume are you doing, and what's the intensity distribution of that? How much are you doing hard and how much easy?
So I probably do on average probably 60 miles a week, which for those who work in Ks is just about 100k. And yeah, again, it's two run sessions a week, and then in between that there'll be a long run and there'll be a few easy runs. It's difficult to say easy because my pace for some people isn't easy, but I have always kind of done this maintenance pace for my easy runs where I'm probably going, I don't know, 6 minute mile to 6:30 minute mile pace for my easy runs. So yeah, that's a pretty standard week, just 60 miles, 2 sessions, a long run, a few easy runs.
Now in the running world, 60 miles isn't a lot, is it? How does that compare to, let's say, the people who went to European Cross with you? you know, their volume, I'd imagine, I don't know for sure, maybe you can confirm, but are they running more than that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think, yeah, it's definitely a bit of a shock because I'm doing probably half the mileage of some of the top guys in the running world. Most guys are on 100 to 120 miles a week and I'm doing 60. Obviously I'm doing a lot more cross training, but I've always kind of had this thought about whether the cross training helps my running or if it hinders it, because in one way it does make you aerobically fitter, but at the same time it doesn't always translate to from swimming to running or biking to running and vice versa. And so I don't know if it tires me out or makes me fitter, so it's difficult, but obviously my run at Europeans kind of showed that maybe it does help.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, we've seen people like Alex Yee come from the track, Beth Potter as well, and both of them seem to be running better than they ever have, and
yeah,
it looks like that's happening to you as well, so there must be something in it.
Yeah, possibly. I think it differs for different people.
Okay.
I know some people that do just a couple of hours of swimming and biking a week on top of their running, and it seems to have a real big impact on them. I'm probably taking it to a more extreme level by doing 20 plus hours of cross training, but yeah, I mean, in terms of triathlon, that's the main focus, and to be good at triathlon you have to work on all three disciplines. Yeah. And if it helps my running, then great, but if it doesn't, then there's not really much I can do about it. I've still got to do that swim and bike volume to get good at triathlon. So
what do these elite runners think of triathlon and triathletes?
Well, to be honest, I don't think elite runners really know how much a triathlete trains. Right. An elite triathlete. I think typically, coming from a running background, runners normally think that they have the hardest sport and they work the hardest, but realistically 100 miles a week sounds tough, and it is tough, but it's only what, a maximum of 10 to 12 hours a week of running, and then maybe a couple of hours of gym session. That's what, 14 hours max, and it's not all about the hours, but just the intensity. It's maybe a couple of run sessions and that's it. Triathlon, you're doing 2 swim sessions, 2 bike sessions, 2 run sessions. You're doing maybe 25 to 35 hours of training a week. Yeah. So yeah, it's just another level really. So I think things have changed now with the Ingebrigtsen method and double threshold. Runners are starting to maybe do 4 or 5 sessions a week and do double days. But I feel like triathletes have been doing that for years. You look at a typical day for triathletes and you're probably doing triple threshold because you're doing a swim session and then some days you might do a bike and a run session after. So yeah, it's really interesting to see. I'd also be interested to see the long-term effects as well, because it is a lot of stress on your body, and I just don't know if it's sustainable or not, but I feel very healthy at the minute, so can't complain.
There's one way to find out, Hugo. Okay, Hugo, there's a quite a big race coming up later this year. Yep. In Paris, a triathlon. I don't know if you've heard about it. A mixed relay and an individual event. Yep. At the minute, Alex Yee selected for the males. We have 2 spots, so that's correct, isn't it? Yep. With a potential 3rd, and those spots aren't taken. Yep. What have you got to do to get selected? Well, it's quite complicated to get that 3rd spot.
or a second spot if depending on whether we can get that third spot for the men's. But essentially I just have to perform as best as I can this year and try and qualify for World Triathlon Series races and try and get on the podium there. There'll be 2 big opportunities in May in Yokohama and Cagliari. If I am successful in getting a start there, then it's all to play for, and just need to stay healthy, injury free, and keep performing at my best, and anything's possible.
You're absolutely right, anything is possible. We always see athletes break through. Athletes like Kate Woff's had a brilliant end to the year, Super League, Grand Final, etc. So if you're wanting to follow on Hugo's journey this year, and you absolutely should, of course you can follow all the usual triathlon news outlets, but also I'll leave Hugo's Instagram down below. You're going to be a bit more active on there now. You've got a GoPro, haven't you?
Yep.
Anywhere else people can follow you to keep up to date with your activities?
No, probably just Instagram.
Get on the Instagram hype, drop him a follow, give him a shout. We'd love to see a Derby lad at the Olympics this year, or even just having a great time for the World Triathlon Series, so hopefully we will.
Okay, ride done and dusted, 2.5 hours, 3,000 feet of climbing, 14.7 miles an hour, and I mean, I won't speak fully for Hugo, but I think he was on the ropes at a couple of points, so you're glad to get through that.
Yeah, it was a tough day.
Really nice ride, wasn't it? The weather for mid-January is awesome, so I've really enjoyed it. Does that tick the box for you training wise today in terms of an easy ride?
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of a strange ride because the first hour is probably a bit harder than easy when you're going just straight uphill, but then that second hour it was just all downhill pretty much, so yeah, it's a nice way to do it.
We were just talking about the Peak District and Derbyshire in general, weren't we? And that for a training area, this works really well for you. Just explain perhaps how you've developed that to work well for you.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of location, you're based right in the middle of the country, so for travel it's really easy to get to anywhere in England. And for me, the swimming, I mean, there's pools nearby, but I train in Nottingham, which is not too far away. And then the biking, perfect for the Peak District and all the roads around here. I know British Cycling do training camps around here, and so it is the place to be. And then for the running, I mean, as you saw this morning, like the places to run around here, there's hills, there's flat bits, there's really nice scenery. So in terms of being based here, it's really nice.
Putting Barbados on the map. And we were just saying, don't all start using that hill for intervals, because it's a real quiet training zone for you, isn't it? So
yeah, I quite enjoy the peace and quiet there. So
there's hundreds of people there next week. Sorry. But no, Hugo, thank you very much for letting me come and join you today. I've really enjoyed it. I know you're mid-training block and you're soon to go out to Australia at the end of the month for a training camp, aren't you? So
yeah, that's right.
I appreciate you fitting me in. I look forward to following your journey this year, and I'd love to catch up with you later in the year for some updates. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.